Now I will tell a story of how to use Lifeflow from a physician's perspective. Before I have Lifeflow, this is what I had. This tool has a control panel on the left that allows the user to manipulate the view. And on the right, I have a list of many patients. One row is one patient. We use triangle to represent events and use color to represent its type. And there's a legend in the bottom that explains what are the colors. However, to answer simple questions like where did my patient go after they arrived, I could not do it. I can scroll up and down on the list, but still it doesn't help me much. Then somebody showed me the same dataset in Lifeflow. Now I can see the story of all my patients. All patients arrive at the hospital, indicated by the blue bar, or you can read it from the tooltip. Then all of them were transferred to the pink bar, which means that they went to the emergency room. After that, some of them were discharged, indicated by the light blue color. Some of them were transferred to the ICU, indicated by red, and some of them were transferred to the floor, indicated by green. Let me zoom in to see more details. Now I see that the patients were transferred to the ICU faster than when they were transferred to the floor or when they were discharged. And I can also compare this transfer time to the hospital standards. And this is only the average time between events. Lifeflow can also show the distribution of actual time between events. I just enabled the distribution. So when I hover the mouse over, now you can see the distribution of the actual time. Some patients were transferred to the ICU almost immediately, while some of them were in the emergency room for more than 4 hours. Now let's take a step back and look at the overview. The majority of the patients fall into this sequence: arrival to the emergency room and then were discharged alive. This is common and expected because there are many patients that visit with minor injuries or illness and went home. Let's look for unexpected sequences. There is a very long sequence in the bottom. From the tooltip, it tells me that there is one patient that stayed in the hospital for 3 months. Or another outstanding pattern is the red and green stripes here. When I notice these patterns, I can open the list view, and then when I click on the pattern, Lifeflow then highlights the patients with that pattern, and I can use their IDs to look up their medical records to see more details. By default, Lifeflow shows all the event types, but sometimes you just don't need them. For example, if I don't care about which rooms that the patients were transferred to, I just want to know only when they arrive or exit, I can hide them by unchecking the checkboxes. Now the Lifeflow is recomputed, and from this Lifeflow, you can see that 62 patients who survived exit the hospital in 7 days and a half on average, while the 38 people who die in 8 days and a half on average. So it may be a better idea to get out of the hospital before the 8th day. So far, we have looked at the data from the time that the patients arrive. But Lifeflow can also allow you to choose any event type as an alignment or reference point. For example, if I want to know what happened to the patients before and after they went to the ICU, I can align the data by ICU. Lifeflow is recomputed. The alignment point is indicated by the dashed line in the middle, and things on the left are what happened before the patients went to the ICU, while things on the right are what happened after. From this visualization, I know that most of the patients came from the emergency room, indicated by the pink bar. Some of them came from the green bar or the floor. Unfortunately, most of them died after that, indicated by the black bar. Many of them were transferred to the floor after, but some were transferred back to the ICU. This is one of the interesting cases called bounce back, which is when the physician transfers patients to lower level of care and they were transferred back. Lifeflow can identify this case very easily. Also, in this view, we notice an anomaly here in the bottom. Somebody died before they were transferred to the ICU. It would be very scary if it really happened. Fortunately, we found that it was just a data entry problem.